Well, what a wonderful way to really elevate any dish that you're planning on making. And these garlic knots, oh, just wonderful. And everyone loves bread. So these garlic knots are definitely going to be a hit at your next dinner. Let's go ahead. I'm going to teach you how to make your very own garlic knots. And before we really get started here, I just wanted to give you a little warning that I am doubling the recipe personally. So my ingredients are going to look just about twice as big as yours. This is a real hit at my house, so gotta double it. All right, so we've got to let that active dry yeast do its job first. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add that water. I'm going to add my sugar next. You want to give that active dry yeast something to eat on. Yeast loves two things. It loves sugar and it loves warmth or heat. If you do the right amounts, it'll be very happy. Now you want to stir until all that sugar dissolves inside the bowl. All right, all that sugar is dissolved inside the bowl. I'm gonna go ahead and add my active dry yeast. I'm gonna whisk this in here too. You don't want chunks of yeast trying to grow. You want all those individual pieces to start on their own. We're gonna set that mixture of active dry yeast, water, and sugar off to the side. We're gonna give it a few minutes to come back to life. In the meantime, we're gonna add our salt and our Italian seasoning right to the flour mixture that we've got. You're gonna wanna take a whisk and get all that together. You wanna make sure that your seasoning is correctly dispersed throughout the entire dough. You don't want super, Italian seasoning chunks. You want it well dispersed throughout the dough. Okay, that flour mixture is all mixed up. Now we just have to wait for that active yeast to truly come alive, and we'll continue. All right, so that yeast mixture is looking nice and frothy. Next part you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna add your flour. Now make sure you have a nice tall bowl here that can go into your mixer. If you're doing this by hand, you can kind of go at your own speed to start adding all that flour together. But especially in a mixer, you don't want a flour catastrophe. So just be careful how much you add. I've got pretty tall walls here, so I'm gonna add the whole thing right to the bowl. All right, flour is added to the bowl. You're gonna hook that bowl into the mixer, and you're gonna start kneading it. So that dough has been mixing for about 6-7 minutes. It really depends on how your dough's looking. Mine's looking gorgeous. Look at this. Oh, that dough slightly sticky. So we've got that dough all mixed up together. Here's a little secret for you for the bread lovers. Do a little olive oil. We're gonna place some olive oil in the bowl that we're gonna let it rise in, just enough to coat it. And what you're gonna do with this olive oil, you're gonna get it all over your hands. And that's gonna make working with the dough a lot easier, especially if you've got a stickier dough. You're just gonna pull her out. I love working with dough. It's so fascinating. I just really enjoy it. How you can bring it all together into something beautiful like this. Now, if your dough's done, it should come right out of that bowl. Barely anything left in there. Now you've got this gorgeous dough. But she's not ready yet. She needs a little time to figure out what she's all gonna be about. So you're gonna place this in that oiled pan. Before you place it in that bowl, make sure you form her right into a dough ball. That's kind of what I do. All right. Now in a nice warm area of your kitchen, throw a towel over this bowl as it's rising. Make sure you place this bowl in a warmer part of your house and let this double in size. It's gonna take about an hour. All right, folks, it looks like it's happy to see us because it has doubled in size. Look at that. The workings of yeast, I love it. All right, so you're gonna take your dough, you're gonna punch it out, get all that air out. All right, so you have this lovely dough. Now we have to make it into garlic knots. But before we do that, we wanna measure out each garlic knot. For my garlic knots, I'm going for 50 grams for each knot. All I'm doing here is I'm using a dough cutter and cutting bits off that piece of dough. That become about 50 grams of dough. And before you set it down, you're gonna kind of want to crimp it at the bottom so that it becomes a ball of dough. You'll have this gorgeous little piece of dough. And that will be one garlic knot. All right, awesomely, I actually did get 24 pieces of dough here and one little extra one that we'll use as a sample. So don't get rid of it, just put it on the side here. So let's learn how to make a garlic knot. All right, so you're gonna take one of your garlic doughs, one of the balls of dough. You kind of want to turn it into like a piece of rope. You're gonna take both ends of the rope here, just like the beginning of tying your own shoe. You're gonna garlic knot it around. And there's a knot. Simple, delicious, it's fun to work with too. Important things to keep in mind is you don't really want your dough to tear. So you want to make sure that it's not tearing and it looks gorgeous. All right, how does that look? Now, this is the toughest part about fresh bread. You gotta wait to let it rise once again. But what I would do is I would preheat your oven to 400 degrees and then set this right on top of your oven. Sometimes you can speed up that process of letting it rise just one more time before throwing it in the oven. All right, you'll throw these guys in for 15 to 18 minutes at 400 degrees. All right, I gave them a few more minutes. Look how gorgeous those look. Oh, so delicious. It's that browning that we're looking for here. All right, for the last piece here, we've got our butter mixture with that garlic and parsley. We're gonna be like painters. I've got my brush right here. You're just gonna start putting that all over. And don't be skimpy with that butter. If you need a little more butter, melt a little more. All right, and after you've buttered your delicious garlic knots, they're all done. They're ready to go. Look how delicious that looks. All right, let's give these a try. Pillowy inside, crispy exterior, nails garlic knot. I very much recommend that you start making these at home yourself. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section below. Thanks again for joining me. And remember, eat good, be happy. How can't you be happy with this?